If you want to get a recording of this whole thing, let us know. We can send it to you later. So, first of all, thank you so much for making time and being patient with us. So, this meeting is about LMS BC season briefing, of course. Um, Before the ball rolls out on April 27th, we had to fight a lot to get permits and other things. As you guys know, there has been multiple leaks, probably thanks to us, because before us, there was only one. So now there are so many requests, so many people are running leaks and etc. So it's very difficult to get permits. We just confirmed most of them. And that's why we are a little bit late with the webinar. Generally, we do this mid-April, so we're not that late. About 20 plus teams are already quite confirmed. Of course, some of them did not pay the fees yet. We'll talk about this. And just to introduce myself, my name is Emrul. I'm the president of Last Man Stands Canada. I'm also a director of Cricket BC at this point because Last Man Stands Canada now is a proud member of Cricket BC, which is the provincial sports organization. And I'm the president of Vancouver Field Sport Federation also that looks after 14 different sports body and 20,000 plus athletes in city of Vancouver. Second vice president and member at large at Outdoor Sports Advisory Committee at the city of Surrey. Pretty similar kind of body uh, like Vancouver Field Sport Federation. So let's move on. As you know, our global ambassador is AB de Villiers. So let's move on. Majority of you know what LMS is all about. And just to take a note, so Redwan, if you see anyone come in later, so let them in, but keep them muted because in my screen here, I don't see that. Okay. But you might, you're the co-host. So what's LMS for all of you? It's a faster format, very large global ecosystem. More than 200,000 players globally at this point, more than 10,000 teams and 1,800 plus cities, and the game format is 2 hours, as you know. Eight-a-side T20 style format. If you know about the UK 100 League, it's actually very similar to LMS. Technology driven. We are the first league in BC to start live scoring, if you know, on technology. The other league did not have that before, but they started after. Global rankings, which if you can go to our website, lastmanistance.com, you'll see the revitalized website, which I will show you right after this presentation. I will try to keep it short so we can go to the Q&A. It's fast, it's social, it's at the same time kind of competitive, even though that's not our main goal. We want to make sure people are moving for 2 hours with their friends, with their buddies, which is why if you see our marketing material generally says, if you have 7 buddies, just come and play. Live streaming, real-time highlights, global networking, so many things. If you have been part of LMS, you already know what I'm talking about. And it gives a clear pathway for local leagues to world tours and championship. The way I describe LMS to people, it's a ICC for recreational and amateur people that have a global infrastructure. So you play, hopefully from next year, you play at the city-based, then provincial, then country, Canada-wide, and then global, right? So very similar to what ICC does. What about in Canada? We have 1,600 plus players in BC registered at this point, 2,000 plus across all over Canada, and 50 plus teams in BC, about 60 teams across Canada. But like I said, because we have multiple leagues, so different leagues these teams are divided into different leagues. Started in BC and Ontario in 2022, now positioned for stronger scale, and later we will talk about that. So why LMS BC 2026 is extremely important for us and why this matters now. We have a whole slide on this. All permits are secured, 20 plus teams already in the system with limited room remaining. And at the end of the day, as a board, we have kind of made a decision that if we have more than 24, we may not take some of the teams that have outstanding dues or have some other sort of unprofessional behavior before that we have seen. So right now we have to make those decisions to keep the league clean. First game is on April 27th. So what I'm going to tell now, get ready. Get all of your players ready. We'll talk about the requirement and everything, and there is a whole Q&A session coming up. So teams that have not paid are not fully secured yet. For example, like I said, there are 20 plus teams, but there are teams that have outstanding dues from last year. There are teams who did not pay the registration fee yet. So, um, but majority of them did. Okay. So the message for your players and captains, get ready. So you're playing next week, and the schedule will come in the next 2 to 3 days. But whatever date you have chosen, you're likely to play on those dates. Okay, either your first preference or the second preference. So get ready mentally and physically. Okay, where we play? Where did we secure our permit at this point? So Ridwan, correct me if I'm wrong on some of them. Newton Athletic Park, which is the crown jewel of cricket in Surrey. Bridgeview Park, we may have some permit or may not. I'm not fully sure. I have to check. Enver Creek is one of our major ground. People love playing there, especially recreational cricketers who don't want long boundaries. North Surrey Community Park, also a small and pretty fun place. Sullivan Heights, and finally Strawberry Hills Park, also small and fun. Our major achievement was in Burnaby. We have both Sparling North and South for 4 days, I believe, 4 or 5 days, both grounds, so which will allow people from Delta, Vancouver, Burnaby, Maple Ridge, and other places to come right in the middle and play, or Richmond also, which is a very proud achievement. We are currently working with the city to build a new ground, if possible, for next year, which is why registrations are really important. We'll talk about that too later. Finally, Vancouver. Vancouver, we have Douglas, Memorial, Trafalgar, and Connaught. Our most popular grounds are obviously Memorial, Connaught, and Douglas. Also in scope, right now, Delta and Richmond are part of the wider BC rollout. We are currently talking to different people in Delta and Richmond for sub-franchises in, for example, LMS Richmond, LMS Delta, whatever. So those ground will come in either maybe middle of this season. We don't know. Venue expansion continues as demand and division grow, and operations are right now designed to be a city-based league. If not this year, definitely next year. But what we'll try to do this year, if your majority of your players are Surrey-based, we'll try to keep most of the games in Surrey. If majority of your players in Burnaby and Vancouver-based, we'll keep most of the players in Burnaby and Vancouver at this point. But ideally, LMS is a city-based league. Okay, supposed to be. The timeline. So I want you to, if you can, please kindly take a snapshot of this picture is really important. April 27th, when the season is start, the ball is rolling on that day. May 31st, you pay the second installment. So you're gonna get invoices or a message on WhatsApp to remind you, which is about $900. I'll break down the cost in a bit for you, because that is the question that we got a lot. What is the cost of this season? Then June 30th, which is the end of June, you pay the third installment, and that will be the last final payment. So the reason we don't know the amount because it depends on how many games we play, and I will give you an idea about that. And end of July, we wrap up the season of BC Blaster, and then we might start. Not might we. Middle June we start LMS University League, and after July we generally start LMS Early Riser League. However, our major focus after partnering with Cricket BC this season is to have LMS Women League formally and LMS Junior League. We'll talk about that later. How many games? Roughly 12 to 14 games over 12 weeks. So we'll try to make sure no more than 2 games per week. Sometimes we have to do it because we're trying to wrap up by end of July, right? So which gives you 12 weeks window. That means we have to squeeze in semifinals and finals also. So registration and payment. Registration is not fully secured until payments are done, just to let you know. So we're going to work on a schedule, not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. And so if you haven't registered yet, if you're just here to know more, you can scan this to register, or you can just go to our Instagram page and find those pages. Um, Send the first 500 installment immediately to secure the team. That is not an extra cost. The 500 will be your go towards your team fee. We never charge anything extra unless needed. I will show you in a bit. Clear any previous year dues before the season begins. Like I said, May 31st and June 30th. Complete player verification before the first game, which is unbelievably important. I want you to take a note this season. And later I'll bring in Redwan to add more context if needed, that why this is so important. That every single players that you're playing should be registered with photo before the first game. But later, if you bring in new players, they must be registered unless they won't be allowed to play. Okay, we'll talk about this. By registration, I don't mean only the last minute stance page. I also mean uh, your our Google form. Okay, we'll talk about that later. So anyway, so that's pretty much it. Let's move on. Okay, key rules in 2026 changes. You can take a picture or we'll actually share a Google Doc with you. The same doc that we had with our Google registration form is we will populate it very soon because we have to take feedback today. We will also take feedback from our operation committee and talk about this more. But right now, this is what we have. 8 players per team, as you know, core format. We're not changing it. 2 hours, 8 aside, T20, official LMS rules, points. If you go to lastminutestance.com, you'll see all the rules there. Oops, sorry, my bad. Official LMS chart is required after the opening grace period. What do I mean by this? That let's say you play your first game of April 27th. So you need to have official LMS chart by May 27. That's a requirement by LMS Global to give you a grace period. But again, during the Q&A session, we can take more questions on that. But majority of the team I've seen register have played with us before, so you probably have your charts already. Other changes? Oh my God. Okay, my bad. Okay. Mandatory player verification form, as I mentioned, intentional forfeit will carry stronger penalties. Last season or previous season, we have seen some teams intentionally forfeit to hurt a team. That's not going to happen. If the operation committee and protest and discipline committee figure that out, there will be a harsher penalty. We'll talk about that. No rescheduling of rained out games or forfeited matches. By general, no general rescheduling, we mean that two condition needs to be satisfied. Okay, two condition needs to be satisfied for a game to be rescheduled. Number one, both captains need to agree on a date and time. Second, and it's inclusive. Okay, the second one is we must have permit on that day on that specific ground. So generally, what we do, our operation head or league managers will tell you these are the grounds and dates available. You guys choose, and the both captains will choose. If you don't agree, there is no rescheduling. Only one reserve day. Okay, for semis and finals. Okay, playoff eligibility. Take a note on this. Playoff eligibility means if you are going to semi or final, in semifinals and final, only those players can play who have played at least 50% of your prior matches. For example, if you had 12 games in the season, they need to play at least six, right? Why? Because sometimes players or clubs and teams bring high quality professional players for semis and finals. LMS tries to stop it. So keep that in mind, okay? And obviously, like last couple of season, players list needs to be approved by the opposition before they play in the semifinal. And the player list should also include the photos. You know that, some of you who played with us before. And semifinal fees must also be paid in advance. The team fee you have right now does not include semifinal fee. For the final match, there is no fee. Scoring. Each team should ensure, this is very important. Take a note of this. Each team need to make sure the captain organizer or a regular player must have LMS umpiring certificate, which is super easy to take. Very easy to take. That will help us if sometimes umpire gets sick. It doesn't happen. Like it doesn't like we play close to 400 matches every year. It happens once or twice, but we don't want to have that, right? Sometimes umpire can have accidents and can get sick. Not only that, then they also know the rules. Okay, that helps them to understand the rules very well. Captain remains responsible for rules awareness. Remember, safety conduct, helmets are required for batsmen under the local standard. We'll follow MCC or ICC rule on that. For example, sometimes when the spin bowler is coming, player is like, I don't want to wear the helmet or whatever. We'll figure that out. We'll follow the ICC and MCC rules for that. But helmets are required. No batsman can play without helmet. Sometimes I know you might wear a hat or turban or something else. Sometimes the team helmet doesn't fit you. You have to find out your own helmet in those situations. There's a lot of players we have who wear turban and hats in our league, and they have their face guards that people for hockey you can buy them from Canadian Tire, and they already have that. Right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, let us know. We'll send you a picture. Uh, Umpire decision remains final on the fielding boundaries, like catches, forces, and sixes. In the other league, what happens? Because a lot of our players also play in the other league, we say fielder's call. No, in LMS, there is no fielder call. Umpire call is final. Even the spectator says something, we don't care. Because you got to understand that in the other league, the umpire comes from a third team for lower divisions. So obviously they might have vendetta towards you, but our umpires are paid, okay, by us, so they don't have vendetta against you. So they will, whatever at that point, whatever they have seen, they will take a decision, and no disrespect towards umpire will be tolerated. Okay, there will be penalties as well as team suspension. Take a note of the streaming option. That's also new this season. Teams now can buy a simple streaming pass. So, Redwan, if you're here, do they have to buy or how do they get their streaming pass? So they can self-stream their games using just a phone and that's all and mobile data. I think it takes 2 to 3 GB per game. Redwan, what is the process on that? Do you know?
Yeah. So if they have to buy a pass, I will confirm the price. But
Yeah.
with that pass, they can do the live unlimited games just
Oh,
with
that
a
is fine.
phone. Yeah,
But it's
just with
probably
a
not going to be
phone.
that expensive, right?
No, no, it won't be.
Okay.
It won't be.
Okay. Because the problem is, or you can request us if you want to live stream some games. Because to live stream, sometimes we have to send two people, right? In place of one. That one person in this kind of economy also needs to be paid. So there will be a fee for that. Obviously, semifinals and finals we stream anyway. Some games we just stream voluntarily by ourselves. Sometimes umpires can help, but we are not going to do this. It's a lot of cost on us. So Redwan, go ahead. Yeah.
So just to be clear, last year we wanted to do like most of the game live, but
Yeah.
for obvious reason, players did not agree or teams did not agree
Mm.
because we still had issues. So I this year it won't be there won't be any issues. So we will try to do almost every game live.
Yeah.
So this is very important. I mean, if you want to do your personal live streaming, you can buy a pass. Otherwise, from us, we will try to do every game live.
Yeah. We'll try our best, like I said, because sometimes we have to send two people, isn't it? So we'll see what we can do. But that is the thing. Yeah, I forgot to mention, and because of Rule 10, we have a whole slide on this. Because of Rule 10 by another league, as you know already, a lot of players did not want the recording to go. So this year, no issue. Here, right away, we are at that slide. Access to play and player verification. So look, we allowed players to play before with pseudonym. We didn't know. By the way, LMS allows people to use their pseudonym, but this year we are not going to do that. Following the recent BC Supreme Court decision concerning Rule 10, at the bottom you have the case reference if you want. Restrictions on that type should no longer limit eligible players for participating on that basis. So if you get calls, if you get emails, if you get threats, please reach out to us. We are thinking of even class action lawsuit now where players might also get paid. If you get bullied or anyone by your club people by another league, please kindly reach out to me, Emrul. Redwan handles operation. I handle legal and other things. We will make sure you get some compensation in the class action lawsuit. So the court found the restriction inconsistent with the society purposes. That league is also a society. We are a society too. The offending sentence was ordered to be removed, that the society directed to stop restricting players on that basis. So for LMS BC 2026, the practical takeaway is very simple. Use your correct details and complete your verification properly. I'll tell you what I mean when I go to the website. Verification, use your correct name. full name, legal name, and LMS profile, and the picture. And the picture better if you have a LMS chart on it. Sorry, my cat is bothering. Okay. Upload a clear photo before your first match. Complete the LMS Canada verification form before playing. We will send it to the managers, or sorry, organizers. Be ready for on-field ID checks whenever. The umpire man can ask for the ID. And captain should also review squad profiles now. If you are the captain, and make sure all of them are registered in the LMS website first, the other form will send you soon. Professional standard shirts and uniforms are guaranteed. I'll tell you why in a bit. All players must wear LMS shirt after the opening 30-day window. Within that, of course, you can play, but up to 30 days, you can still get your shirt point. I'll discuss shirt point in a bit if you don't know. Same colors trouser or shorts are encouraged. And LMS allows short, but trousers look nicer. For a cleaner look and a stronger team presentation. However, we are not giving trouser points this year like last year. So the highest point you can get is 9 points per game. I'll show you that in a bit. But matching colors are important for your own branding. Umpire expectations. League managers, umpires are expected to be on time, properly equipped, and professional throughout the match. Let us know if you find anything. There is a feedback system at the back end. Some of you already have complained through the feedback system in LMS, and we have taken action on those. Conduct. Zero tolerance for verbal abuse and umpire disrespect. Serious or repeated misconduct can trigger suspension. And whether we talked about rain out already. Scoring table, scoreboards and player stats should be updated promptly on the same day. What I mean by that, when you finish your game, you go home and you enjoy your highlights. It's very fun to watch, actually. You get the email where it shows your ranking. Please check if umpire made a mistake on giving you the correct point. Within 24 hours, you need to let the league manager or the operation head know. They can change it backstage. Look, our umpires hardly makes mistake on these things, but what happens, sometimes the umpire entered the game, but there was no internet. So offline it's in their phone, but it did not connect to the server. So let us know. It doesn't happen that much, but let us know. Teams should monitor points and raise their scoring errors very quick, especially players score. In close operational calls, ask early rather than match window closes. So let's talk about that, how the point system works. And before I go there, let's talk about our league structure. Our target is 24 teams. We have to go over the permit again. We might have to reduce it to 20. We don't know. Okay, so right now, this is what we are thinking, 24 teams across three divisions. This is likely playing division, okay? It's not confirmed yet. So division one would be Monday, Wednesday. 80% plus of your game will be on Monday, Wednesday, because sometimes we don't have permit. We might have to move it to weekend, early morning or Friday. That's a buffer. But 80% plus will be Monday, Wednesday for that division. And we will not call this Monday, Wednesday. We'll call the division something nice. Division 2, Tuesday, Thursday. Again, 80% of your games will be on those days. Division 3, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. About 50% of your games will be on those days. The other games will be on other days. 12 to 14 games per team, as I've mentioned. Again, depending on the divisions, right? So it's just a fee snapshot in front of you that will tell you player fee. So you can charge your players accordingly. Season games. If there are 12 games, I'm counting with 12. Keep that in mind. If there are 14, you pay for 14. You pay as you go. So we don't charge weird fees like other leagues. 12 games times 8 players per game times 22.5. If you are here, you know the last year our cost was 21.5. With the inflation, we should be charging 10% more at least. But our ball cost went up. Our umpiring fees went up. Our permit cost went up. You can ask the cities. You can check the city's website and everything, especially City of Vancouver, 7% jump in the permit cost. But we are increasing it by 4.5%. It was $21.5 last season. It's 22.5 this season. There is a team registration fee of $75. If you buy 8 LMS short from LMS shop, I want to be clear, we do not make any money from LMS shop. It's a global structure. Okay, they make money. We don't in LMS Canada. If you do not buy 8 shirts per year, they charge us that fee. We're just transferring it to you. I don't know why, because probably they want to promote their LMS shop, right? That means if you bought those 8 shirts from them, which is about $28 per shirt, let us know. We will remove this fee because it's just their cost on us and we just transfer it to you. And it's very important to make this centrally run for marketing reasons. We'll let you know later if you're interested. And because LMS is a part of Cricket BC now, we have a junior women and Cricket BC levies of $75 per team. Let me tell you what that is for. And because we are a member of Cricket BC, we have to pay fees, number one. And we're going to work with Cricket BC to have LMS Women League and LMS Junior League. Junior, we never charge any fee. So we generally get funded by Canadian Tire, City of Vancouver, VI Sport, but it's not enough. Some of your fees will go towards it. And for women cricket, we may either do free or 50% cost, right? So those will be covered with that. So thanks for your contribution towards those. An indicative total is 2310. If you play more games, we'll add that. If you play in semifinals, we'll add that. And finals are not charged. Okay. Format is important. Some of you who played with us before, you kind of know the format. Let's make an example. Let's say 21 teams, 3 divisions, so 7 teams in each division. They play each other once. So that means you played 6 games. After that first round, the top teams we divide into cup, bottom teams we divide into plate so that there is more competition in the second round. And finally, there would be a plate final and cup final as we always do. Installment, we discussed that already. And unlike other leagues or tournaments, you get money, right? I know we are not a tournament, we're a proper summer league. You just get a trophy in other leagues. Here, you get one of the best trophies you can have in leagues in BC, plus many other awards. If you just go to our Instagram, you'll see everything. But if you're a cup champion, you get $2,000 credit. That credit can be used if you want to go play for world champ because you qualify for that, or can be used to pay the fee of that season or next season. Plate champion, 1,000, same idea. And the payment email, take a snapshot of that, accounts at lastmanstandsdei.com, which is our nonprofit wing. Okay, point system, very important. I won't take more than 10 minutes, okay? Then we'll take Q&A. If you win, you get 6 points. If the matches are tied, you get 4 points each. Abandoned, during game, 4 points. Bonus is 2. And bonus rule is listed on Last Man Stands website, but it's called 20% rule. Let me give you an idea. If you bat first, you scored 100. You need to get the other team out in 79. Okay, below 20%. So you get 2 points. You fielded first, you're chasing 100 now, let's say. But if you chase those in 80 balls, not 100 balls, sorry, 79 balls, my bad, less than 20% safe, right? You get 2 bonus points. Okay, that can be a matter of so many things. Believe me or not, we have seen this. So that's 6 for win, 2 added bonus. If you get them, that's 8. And if you have full LMS shirts, that's 1 more point. Umpire will give you total 9. It used to be 10 with the trouser, but there's a lot of problem we have faced for trousers last couple of seasons. We don't want to give trouser points this season. So by umpire by mistake gives a trouser point to someone, let us know. Okay. Playoff we discussed already. Forfeit. If a team's forfeit for any reason, we're not coming to ground, the team that the other one is going to get 10 points. Okay. And the forfeiting teams, actually, it should be 9 points. I apologize because we are not giving trouser point, right? So it should be 9 points. And the team that forfeited will get -1. But if you intentionally forfeit, I did not put the number here, but I'm saying this on record. If you intentionally forfeit and if your protest and discipline team figure that out and we can prove it, there are 3 people. So we take votes from 3 people. You get -5. So don't forfeit intentionally. There are many other awards and trophies we generally provide, as you know already. You've played with us before. Some of you, Champions Trophy, Runners-Up Trophy, gold medals for Cup Champion, silver medals for Runners-Up, gold medals for Plate Champion, like, and silver medals for Runners-Up, Emerging Player Award, Spirit of the Game Award, Fair Play, Best Managed Team, Role-Based Recognition, Top Batsman, Bowler, All-Rounder, Keeper, etc. We are also thinking of giving man of the match trophies, small mementos, but we are not confirming anything right now because that will require some coordination from our umpires also. So Redwan, kindly take a note that we might already buy some man of the match mementos and give it to our umpires. Okay. Uh, Marketing update. Teams can use LMS branding and league structure to support sponsor conversations. If you want to know more about this, I'll send you more information. For example, if you go to your team profile on LMS, you can add logos of your sponsors. LMS TV highlights social content, create visibility. Always add us if you're promoting your club. You can connect with us in IG. What is it called? Collaborate with our IG, Facebook. We'll accept those. We'll try to promote you as much as possible. Live streaming, we already discussed. How to register? You can register as an individual player on the LMS site. We do not recommend that because we may not have any floater team this year. Confirm your email so the account is fully active. It's so important, guys. This is what affects the point system. For example, sometimes some player says, "Oh my God, I played so well this season. Why am I not the best batsman?" Redwan, can you correct me? How much point people don't get if they're not registered or their email is not active? Do you know that?
Um, I'm not sure about the points, but if their email is not confirmed, they do not receive any stat or any
Yes.
update of any
I
games.
actually forgot too. So pretty much some points are not there. Okay. So for example, if you score a 50, I forgot, it's not exactly 50 points. It depends on number of ball. This is why LMS is beautiful, right? So you don't get 50. If you do it faster, you get more points. But if your emails are not confirmed, you probably do not get something like 20, 25 points. I don't remember. So ask your team players to confirm. It's a very privacy and copyright concern for us too. When they register, you register for anything, get an email, right? You need to confirm that. And also, we will send you a separate player registration form in the WhatsApp group of all the captains. So keep an eye on your email for the WhatsApp group if you registered already. So what other we are doing beyond BC Blaster, the other things we generally do, 2026, there will be a university and college cricket league like we do every year. This year, we are thinking 20 teams because we will try to work collaboratively with the other university league that has been created. We tried our level best to work together. Even the managers of that league wanted to work together, but one of the key leadership, majority of you know them, did not want to make that happen, hurting our students. But anyway, we have 10, 12 teams. They have 10, 12 teams. We are likely planning to combine it together. At a minimum, we are going to work with Cricket BC on this. It will be powered by Cricket BC. There's a lower player cost where funding supports access. For example, our LMS University League was supported by Vancouver Sports Hosting Grant, which allows us to charge them half the fee. For example, if you do 22.5, they pay like 11.25. But if funding comes, if not, it's the same cost. LMS Early Risers, it starts around July, maybe about 10 teams. We don't know. We'll see. IPL style semi-final for that. Women's League, definitely we are having it this year. With right now we are in talks with Cricket BC. We are sending a proposal soon. A junior under 17 league. We are not sure if we'll have a separate junior league or we'll have two, three junior teams within BC Blasters and Early Risers. Okay. So dedicated clubs and teams, if you are a registered society or corporation, I encourage you, you do it. Then you can become an official member of LMS DEI. So you can be part of different committees, help LMS grow, maybe become sub-franchise holder, league managers, we'll discuss. Club pathways to Cricket BC is extremely important. So I wanted to take some note on that too. LMS is right now an official member of the PSO. You can go to the website, you can see. PSO, it means Provincial Sports Organization, which is Cricket BC. So we are one member, so we get one vote. And right now, five of our clubs are also member. So they get five votes. So LMS now have six votes in total. Why that's important? To get more grounds, to get more funding, to get more sponsorship for your teams. For your, if you have some amazing players, they can do provincial pathway and go and play for the national teams. That's why it's important to have some say there. So, but remember, if you want to be part of Cricket BC, you have to pay a fee. I don't know how much that is for us because our games are shorter than the other leagues. But to complete the applications and everything, initially there is a fee too. So, like an initial cost and then yearly fee. A lot of teams don't do that. You don't really have to do this because in the other league, there was a requirement that you have to be part of Cricket BC to play in that league, not in our league. You can play without being part of Cricket BC. But if you want to be a part of it, let me know. For that, just send me an email. I'll show you my email address later. Okay. Very quickly, marketing LMS Canada franchise and sub-franchise opportunity. We are very, very proud to say that LMS Quebec has been franchised. This is starting now. Right now, we are talking to someone about LMS Vancouver. I won't mention whom. We are talking to someone for LMS Richmond franchise. LMS Delta, we are talking to someone. The NDA has been signed for all three. LMS Surrey, we are talking to someone. If you really want to run LMS yourself in Surrey, we'll let you run because we should not be running these leagues. They should be run by different operators like LMS Global runs. Victoria is in talk and Ottawa is also under discussion. So one thing we can guarantee that by the end of 2026, 50% of Canadian places will be covered. So if you really want to be part of, if you don't want to take on one of the franchise, that's the QR code in front of you, lastminutestents.ca, not .com/franchise. Or you can send an email to canada@lastminutestents.com. If you have any media inquiries or anything, you can send, or Cricket BC thing, you have my email there, emrul.hassan@lastmanstandsdei.com. DEI is the way you remember is diversity, equity, inclusion. Okay, last slide. What you need to do now, register your team. If you have not done it, send the fee. That's the QR code again. Um, Again, this is not an extra fee. It's going towards your team fees. Clear any old dues from last season. If you have any, complete player verification form when you send it to you. Update LMS profiles with the correct names and clear photo, preferably with LMS trophy, LMS shirt, etc. Arrange LMS shirt as soon as possible. Get your player ready. It's very easy. Go to LMS shop and order. It comes to your doorstep. Okay. Watch for the schedule and manager announcement soon. You can ask question now, not later, because for personal health reason and other things, my WhatsApp time and my social media time is only 30 minutes. I literally have a social media manager, Sarah, who handles my social media, right? So it's very difficult for even Redwan and us because we are not full-time working on it. So it's very difficult sometimes to respond to you. However, I don't mind getting your messages or anything. It will just take some time to get back to you. For franchise or partnership, canada@lastminutestents.com. For media inquiries, imrul.hassan@lastminutestensdei.com. For team registration, you scan the clear code. So LMS BC 2026 is moving forward strongly. Now let's execute. We're starting within a week. With that, I'm going to stop the recording now because the Q&A session can be personal. So I don't want to record that part. And I also have to unmute you for those. Sometimes we have trolls. Okay. Anyway, that's all for the recording. We might post it online too. We don't know, but we'll send it to some people who could not be here today.